You cannot escape from death.
Sometimes you see a fire brewing in another game and you compare it to your own favorite game. In this instance, it's for me Tekken 8. I saw a very popular Call of Duty Twitter account has almost a million followers tweeting out, I highly encourage you stop playing Call of Duty and go play other games until they get it together. This hits home with me for Tekken 8 and a lot of people out there, but not everyone out there. There are some people who are having a lot of fun with Tekken 8, and I am still, at the time of recording, looking forward to our conversation to see what those players are loving so much about Tekken 8, because I don't think that Tekken 8 does everything wrong. That's the thing. I don't think Tekken 8 is a horribly flawed game. I just think there's some elements in Tekken 8 that's too egregious, that's too much. And if they pull those back, Tekken 8 just a little bit, pull it back a little bit, Tekken 8 can be great, just like Tekken 7 and whatever else is your favorite Tekken. I think Tekken 7 is a great one. Maybe not the best one, but it's a great one. I think Tekken 8 is very, very close to that. And the more steps that the developers take catering to casuals and simplifying is steps that they're taking, I feel, in the wrong direction. And not because catering to casuals is a bad thing. Like, I do think Tekken kind of needs to do more of that in certain situations. I could explain, but it would take far too long. But I think that generally what the issue is how they are going out of their way to basically make the hardcore players experience worse. Like, that's not even me saying that, that's literally them. Harada said it on Harada's bar that he wants people with less skill to beat people with more skill, and never before have I heard a developer outright say it. Like, they may think it, they may, put it into their game, but just to say it, how is a veteran player supposed to feel like when a developer is telling them, yeah, we want people who put in less to beat you? Here's where we talk about Arslan Ash. At the time of recording, this is also not taking place. This is the Evo showcase, but they will be adding 3 people into the Hall of Fame for Evo. Some of the names that people are throwing around is like a Sonic Fox, an Arslan Ash, a Taquito. There's a lot of names that's being thrown around. I think Arslan Ash is definitely deserving of it. Out of all of those names, I believe Sonic Fox and Arslan Ash won the most Evos comparatively. I bring this up because Arslan Ash is a very talented player who has made a huge name for himself, put an entire region on the map. Like, we list out his accomplishments every single time. I feel like I'm glazing, bro, but it's just facts. The guy is like incredible at what he does. So when he speaks on Tekken, everyone shut up and listen. It's how I see it, right? Now he's kind of been like quiet since Clive release, and he kind of have a couple of tweets that I want to tackle a little bit. So the first one says, last month I've been really into KOF, having a blast, and I was thinking about going to Morocco, but my Tekken commitments means I gotta go back to practicing, even though Tekken 8 isn't exactly thrilling for me. Plus, I haven't played KOF in 2 years and a half, so I need to work on matchups, and it takes slow. So basically saying it will take too much time. No way I'm winning a major tournament in just 6 weeks, no matter how hard I try, so I'll just keep playing both and compete in them later. Now, what I think he's preparing for is this Korea versus Pakistan event, but he's also just preparing for many other events that's just going to be taking place with Tekken 8. But the final tweet from Arslan, this is the one that kind of rocked my socks at least. It says, been playing Tekken 8 for a year, and I still don't get why strong defense is a bad thing. Never seen that in other fighting games. It's ridiculous. Give me some defensive options, please. And this is the thing. It's almost as if the players is like begging for defense. They're desperate for defense. Have to go back to the question, did the developers intend for the game to be this aggressive? Because let's say you want your food to be spicy. You're cooking some soup or some pasta or whatever. You want it to be spicy. You brought some brand new spice. You haven't tried it yet. You like dip your finger in it, it's not so spicy. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna put a lot of this in there because it's not really as spicy as I thought it was. And then now you're sitting down eating dinner and your eyes is like watering, it's burning. I wonder if that's what the developers did, where they wanted this game to be aggressive, and they were putting all of these different things all over the place. This here for defense, this here for throws, this here for power crush, for heat. But then when you put it all together and it's time to eat, do they feel like the game is just wildly aggressive and there's no way to counter it? That's simply just a question that I ask, because I think that's the biggest question that we ask. How much of this was intentional, and how much of this can we expect to be gone in season 2? I mean, like I said, I did all of this hyping up of Arslan Ash at the start of the video just to say, like, when you have the one of the best players on the planet, top 3 easily, always saying that like playing Tekken 8 makes him depressed, please give me defensive options. It's just personally not a good look for the game, and I wonder if the developers will take something like this into consideration. For Tekken 7, Arslan Ash had a very big impact on that game. Main Man Sui as well, a lot of people, Knee, a lot of people were able to put out tweets or videos, and the developers will take those and then do it. We would see literally what they said: buff Lars, buff Gigas, buff Asuka, buff Heihachi's lows or whatever, literally be in the next patch notes. Now, Tekken 8, they're doing things a little bit differently, where they're not really impacting the game patch notes by patch notes. They're doing it season by season. So with all of this criticism that they're getting from like a lot of top players and a lot of impactful players, you have to wonder if they will do this. I think personally that they should put some defense back into the game. Like, what I really loved about Tekken is how it was a dance. It was a back and forth, push and pull, yin and yang. There was harmony. And now I feel like that is kind of gone. I feel like Tekken is all about whoever can hit who first and just bully the other opponent. We all know, like, you launch someone, you do a crazy mix up, that's like another combo, and then the round's pretty much over, right? Where is the give or take in that, right? So I just would like to see some options given to the players to fight out of some of these crazy situations. All the time on Twitter, I see a character, whether it be Zhao Yu, Yoshi, Brian, Jin, Dragunov, so many characters, every character just steamrolls, just outright crushes. I don't know, when you play other games and you see how like you can interact with the opponent, they could do something, you could do something, you can run, they can run. In Tekken 8, there's not much of that. Like, all of the burden is put on the opponent to defend or, guess right. And there's very little like interaction there. The reason why I get so disappointed is because Tekken really was great at that. It was great at having two players interact with one another, give or take, feed off one another. And with Tekken 8, it's literally just a one-sided like steamroll. What's really fascinating about this is that the developers haven't said anything, right? We've been having conversations like these for the whole year, and they have not once said anything to make us feel like they will continue or they won't continue. Usually a game will step in and say, hey, we hear you guys and we want to do this in a couple of months. They haven't said anything, so we don't know if they are doing it or if they're not doing it. And it really is like just a mystery. We're gonna have to wait and see if season 2 is putting some defense back in or if it's just taking more defense out, because you do have the whole heat mix-ups and all that stuff. That aspect of it is pretty interesting, how the developers haven't like given the players anything to go off of, right?